Beastie Cutie, trying to even up the score.
Yeah, this is a much more macro-oriented map than Lilac Crest is. I highly doubt Beastie Cutie is going to try the same sort of thing because like there's only one little ramp that you can attack up, and like if your opponent recognizes that you're going for that heavy gas play with Reapers and Hellions, they can literally just build a bunker and 2 depots on top of the ramp, and you're never getting up there.
Yeah. All right, well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The top, representing True Esport, it is the pink Terran now, Beastie Cutie.
And in the bottom left from Team Gravity, it is the yellow Terran Semper.
I would like put this to different players, like colors that they pick.
Yeah.
And Beastie Cutie usually does pick pink, and Semper tends to pick yellow. I know Scarlet picks
I've
pink,
seen Semper,
Tefl. Or rather, I think, was it Tefl? I don't know. It was like...
Tefl
I forget who it is. But...
I don't know. Tefl plays in so many online show matches, he probably switches his color around all the time.
He's just a rainbow. But here we go. So, we're starting it out.
No gas yet from Semper. Actually, I've seen Semper do this opening quite a lot. He should just go into... This is slightly later gas. He'll probably get 3 Marines and then a reactor. Whereas Beastie Cutie's just going to open Reaper here. That's exactly what I expect. Beastie Cutie with a pretty late scout. And if Semper opens Marine, and if he gets a second depot, he can actually trap this SCV. Whereas Semper should be able to get a full scout and know exactly what his opponent's doing.
Okay. Well, going into here too, I mean, when you play on this map, you said it was more macro-oriented, but
yeah.
I mean, like, do those kind of crazy openers and then tone it down?
They won't hit as fast unless you do some crazy, like Proxy 2-Rax Reaper is pretty common on this map, because most people just Reaper expand, and if you don't scout it, then you just straight up die to Proxy 2-Rax Reaper, because it's so hard to actually get enough units out.
I see them on Orbital too, actually, a lot. Oh, he is gonna do.
You can do like later openers, like things that'll hit like after you're on 2 base, like Mine Drops on this map, Banshee Play. This was actually the map that I took a game off of Beastie Cutie on. I went,
really?
Yeah. I went for like Gas First Raven expand, and then did a 2 tank 8 Marine, 2 medevac drop with a Raven, and then just dropped 3 outer turrets, and his army wasn't quite in position, so he died to that.
Damn.
Looks like, so Semper's being pretty aggressive with these Marines out here. He wants to try to catch the Reaper, and he manages to deny the scout for now. He's good.
Yeah, because he's looking like he is just getting the expansion again, but Beastie Cutie dropping a double command center.
Yeah, his opponent doesn't have a Reaper, so he's got to really have time scouting that. And this is really smart to put in the natural. Because if we're going to scan 99 times out of 100 at this point, you're going to scan the main. Because, like, at that point, you see, like, does he have a second gas? Does he have a starport? Does it have any add-ons? Stuff like that.
Alright, well.
So, Semper, 3 Marines into the reactor, is getting the tech lab, getting the starport. Wouldn't be surprised to see... Actually, he could go, like, 50-50 tank or Cyclone here, because he knows his opponent's Reaper expanding. Like, if they go gas first, you almost always want to go Cyclone. Because, like, it's good against Banshee, good against Medevac, good against, like... So it's good against the air units, and it's also decently good against the ground units. Whereas if you get the tank, like, it's just really good against ground units.
Oh, and he drops a 3rd command center himself. Well, if he does go for the Cyclone, is it, like...
3rd CC is quite a bit later. I mean, the problem with the Cyclone is, like, it's
more
great
defensive
in the first, like, 5 minutes, and then after that, like, if you could turn it into a supply depot, it would be infinitely more useful. Because it's...
Like, turn it sideways.
Yeah. So he's gonna get the Cyclone. But Beastie Cutie is not going for anything aggressive here. Actually, he might be going for a Banshee, and he is getting Reactor Hellions. There's a small chance he could go mech. Actually, no, he's getting Marine instead.
Okay.
So he's not gonna swap those. Actually, it'd be pretty cute after the scan to just swap them and get a Banshee anyways. Just because your opponent's like not gonna expect it there. Like, I see a lot of players do that right now. Scans, sees the Cyclone done. Should see the 2nd Rax going down, 3rd CC.
Yo. Okay, what is he doing here? Building a factory here. It's a 2nd one.
Ooh, so he did it. He lifted. He's not going for a Banshee, but he lifted the barracks. Because if you start stim, it's always bio.
You're thinking already, yeah, it's gonna be bio.
This is basically the only map in the pool, aside from Orena and sometimes Prion, that I'd say Mecha's a good shot at. It's much weaker in TBT and Legacy than it was in Heart of the Swarm. In Heart of the Swarm, you thought go through spikes, or there are periods where everyone went mech, and there are periods where no one went mech, just based on like map choice and stuff like that. But he's already landing his 3rd CC, So if he can get away with this like eco advantage, he should be in a great spot. And you
Yeah,
know,
that'd be great. Oh,
for
man.
TC. So Semper can't exactly put on a lot of pressure really fast, especially since Semper's playing super passive with a Viking and a Cyclone. He's not planning on moving out anytime soon. These Hellions are just for a little bit of pressure. This Widowmine's really cute. He burrowed one in the middle of the map.
I saw the one that he burrowed in the middle of the map, and what is that to like catch?
Because there are some spots where you can burrow Widowmine where you can't see it if you're the opposing player, because it'll just like blend in with the terrain. Curious if he found those are those spots. But
Semper going for
Semper
regular
should
bio.
know it was a 3cc build, and now he knows his mech because he saw like a late starport and like no tech in the main. So
And even
now
the
he
Hellion
knows what's
count
up.
though too. Does that show it off, or sometimes people just end up with a lot of Hellions?
Some people do go Hellions like into bio. It's not very common on Dusk Towers because like you can't really do much with them. Like on Laralac Crest or something like that is much more common.
That makes a lot more sense on Laralac, yeah.
So starting his armory now, he's got his third factor already done. There are a lot of ways to play versus mech. I really like playing versus mech on this map because I just basically copy what Happy did to Marine Lord in the WCS Challenger series, where you take like every base and you go up to 90 SCVs, whereas normally it's like 55 to 65, and you just you go into like really fast Liberators, so they're scared to push out because like if you can get air control as the bio player versus the mech player, you basically just win because mech is pretty terrible ground to air.
Yeah.
So if you have like especially if you have Liberator range, if you have a bunch of Liberators with range, you can just like wreck a mech army.
Ah. Yeah, I know a lot of people like just having that trouble with it too, where it's like.
Yeah. So like I think mech is a little bit gimmicky. There's one thing I like to do on this map in particular, because this is basically the only map that I play it on, where you get a pretty fast 4th CC, and you load up 5 SCVs, and you lift it to the gold, and you make it a planetary, and they never expect it. It's great.
Oh. Yeah. I would love it if he did that, you know.
Yeah, like starting a few turrets here, just being safe. Hasn't dropped any sensor towers yet, but he did split up his Vikings, so he should know if any drops come. And I'm curious to see how Semper chooses to play against this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do you really have a lot of experience playing against mech in Legacy of the Void, or is it like one of the things that can
I have
catch
more
you off
experience
guard?
like playing with mech than against mech, but
Oh, okay.
I play against mech quite a bit. So you got this Hellion in here somehow. Just to miss that.
Mhm.
But he is going to choose to play a tank-heavy style because he's getting the second factory. Might go into Thors. This is stronger in Legacy than it was in Heart of the Swarm, because in Legacy you can like lift up and maneuver the tanks with your medevacs. And he's also making a lot of Vikings here, so he's probably just going to try to power through. Because mech players a bunch of times like to get out medevacs, like after they get a few Vikings, because that way you can like drop Hellbots on the army, or you can counterattack with them. Nice Widowmine hit, picks up the Cyclone.
Nice.
And does some damage with the Hellions. No combat shields yet, just now started. I think that was a mistake from Semper, probably just now realized.
Oh. And even like the Vikings all spread out here, it's not gonna negate drops a bit, and
yeah, he's
do you
pulling
think
all the
it's an issue?
Vikings together facing David. He recognizes that opponent only has one medevac, so like if he ever stims, it's gonna hurt a lot. And that tank like ate that Widowmine shot, so it's really well helped.
yeah.
What's the Viking count actually at right now? It's 8 to 6. So it's actually in favor of Semper, and you can see him.
The bio player with the sun.
Vikings around.
He's just like, what's up? Looking for them.
So yeah, BCQD is doing the right thing here in building turrets. Oh, this Liberator from Semper has one Liberator right now, and if this can siege up, that's actually going to be huge. This is why you can't ever let the bio player get air control, because this Liberator is going to 2-shot tanks. It's just going to he's not even.
Wow, a 2-shot? Oh, I never even knew how many. Yeah, he's making that a top priority to take it out, but he's gonna lose all of his Vikings.
He sniped it, but because of that, he's gonna lose the air war. I think it would have been better if he had waited and gone for a trade, because he had already lost those units and he was getting missile turrets up. He's getting his second reactor with Starport, which I kind of like, and a Thor, but he's still.
Oh, but he's taking out so many.
Yeah. So he's stable for now, but the problem is, like with mech, you really want the momentum advantage, because then if he can take this 4th base here, then he's in a great spot, because like otherwise, like the Semper's 4th isn't as fast as I would like to see it. Like, I'd like to see him have his 4th already fully saturated and the 5th on the way. Because you really want to keep up the, because basically in most fights, unless you have air control as the bio player, you're going to trade at a deficit versus mech, so you need a higher econ.
Uh-huh. At least he's denying it off of Beastie Cutie, too.
Beastie Cutie's only got 4 tanks.
Yeah, he lost like 3 of them to the Liberator.
He's got 23 Hellbats, but he's got no medevac, so Semper can just kite these for days, and the tanks will just tear him apart. I don't think he can push out here. I think he's about to get wrecked.
Uh-oh. Well, he's going to try to do it anyway, and the Marines are going to stand behind all of the tanks. And
I see,
2 of the tanks are not seized.
Tanks aren't really doing anything,
Yeah.
But, I think, yeah, Semper's... This is a very good fight. This should just be game right here.
He's just going to tear through it.
Even if BCQD eventually stabilizes here, he's going to have no tanks.
No, he's losing every single one of them, and the Marauders are even going to be able to just
he doesn't have
push
enough
on
time
through.
to survive. This should just be game over here.
Oh,
Losing that air control is rough. And I think if he was going to go into double starport, he didn't want to make the double Thor there, because that just hurt his tank count so much. And he lost 3 to the Liberator, I believe.
that was a big deal, yeah. That kind of set this all into motion here.
Because 7 tanks is so much stronger than 4 tanks against like Bio. I think he would have. He could have at least traded evenly in that fight, and he wouldn't have.
Mhm. Yeah, I think he just was like, oh my god. Like, he set everything up perfectly, and then the Liberator got into position, and it was just like, oh. 3 tanks. I didn't know they 2-shot tanks. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, Liberators are crazy strong versus mech.
Jeez. Well,
The thing is, like, if the mech player can, like, if you can get, like, Drilling Claws pretty fast and get your own, like, Viking Liberator out, and, like,
Mhm.
basically, like, if you can get a 4th base, it sort of, like, evens out, because then you can get all these upgrades as a mech player. You can get a few Thors, you can get, Drilling Claws and a bunch of Widow Mines, you can get Viking Raven, and maybe some Libs of your own. And then you can fight their air army, basically. But taking a 4th on this map as a mech player is really hard, just like I said, why I like to take the gold base one.
yeah. Damn. That's 2-0 up here for Semper. I see Beast, I think, was in the chat. Yeah, he's like, yo. Rooting for his homies. Or was he? Oh no, I only saw it in the actual game, that's why. Yeah, he is in Beast in the building right now. Because Canada bringing some freedom to Serbia. But I guess to say there's like a sound in the background, or I don't know. I do hear it a little bit.
Okay, I have my air conditioner on right now. I can try turning that off.
Okay. Terran! Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump into game number 3, which will... Actually, I'm not sure what map it'll be on, but I totally missed it during the invite. Just waiting for one more. I believe it is... Well, when Raze comes back, he should accept it, that's why.
So yeah, I think Semper played that very well in general. He BC, you took a bit of a risk going for Vikings that early,
Mm-hmm.
because that basically, like, he can't ever drop if you're doing that, because you're never gonna have enough
Oops.
enough
Yeah.
medevacs.